Hello everyone, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee and welcome to this card making tutorial. Today we're going to be making this fun fold card. I've heard it's called a cinched card but I'm calling it a curtain card because it reminds me of putting the curtains in the centre and then having them out here on the edge, and I just love it. You could also think of it as a dress card as well. This could be the bodice and this could be the skirt element. I think it's just a lovely, really pretty card. And this features the Blossom Boutique Designer Series paper and the new ink colours from Stampin' Up. Let's start though with the stamping. This time here I stamped it in crisp cantaloupe, but this time I'm going to do slightly different. I'm actually going to match the gold foiling in the paper, and we are going to gold heat emboss. So I have got my piece of basic white here. Stamp set I'm going to use is this one called Greenery Lane. Sorry for my arms being in the camera. And let's see, we're going to do Love and Hugs again, I think. Sorry about the noise. I'm going to get a block. I'm going to put this just on my grid paper. There we go. I'm going to stamp in Versamark ink so that we can heat emboss. So I'm going to use my powder tool just to put some powder down so that the embossing powder will only stick where there's Versamark. Lovely. Alright, and then I've got some Versamark ink here, so give my stamp a really good ink up. You can do it either way, take your stamp to the ink pad or the other way around, whatever works for you. And then I'm just going to give myself enough space to punch it out and give it a good press down, hold, lift it up. That should be fine. Right, and then I'm going to use a coffee filter to try and contain some of this mess. And then I've got my gold embossing powder here. This is a few packets of it that I've got here. I'm just going to put this over here. Love and Hugs. Give it one more go. Right, lovely. And then we're going to try and get this back into its little pot. I'm not the best at this. I'm not too bad a job. However hard I try, there is some that gets. However hard you try, there will be some that gets everywhere. Now, if there is any embossing powder on your sheet where you don't want it to be, if you just use a very fine paintbrush, that's the word I was looking for, paintbrush, and you can just get rid of it, but I think that's okay. Right, so before we go any further, I'm starting to work in the sort of area size of a postage stamp. So let's make some space for ourselves. Let's take this off the block, give it a little clean, put it back in its home so it doesn't become a poor little orphan without its mates and its family. Back in its little home. There we go. Right. I'm going to heat emboss this now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat it up for about 30 seconds away from my piece of paper so it's good and hot when I bring it to the paper. The reason I'm going to do that is it will help to stop any of the cardstock warping. So I'm going to get on and do that, and then I'll see you at the end. Okay, so you'll know when it's heat embossed because the dull powder will change to this lovely shiny metallic, and it's cooled down now, so we're ready to punch this out. So I've got two punches here. I'm going to first use my 2-inch punch, which is this one here. And we're just going to punch this out, so just fits the 2-inch punch perfectly. Right, after that we'll go for scrap. Don't waste anything. And then I've got the 2 3/8-inch punch, and I'm going to take a piece scrap here of gold foil sheet and punch that out. Right, and then we're going to stick one to the other. I just love this, it just looks so cool. So do that. Stick one to the other. Lovely, and I'm going to just let it set that side there so it can set. So now we're going to work on the rest of our card. So card base is going to be crisp cantaloupe again. Now I've got 2 pieces of basic white cardstock, and first I'm going to put one on the inside, and this is going to be for the insert. Okay, so let's do that. I love the combination of these colours, it's just speaks spring to me. And then I think we're going to put a little piece here on the inside, but I need to cut this down to about, where's my pencil? Should have maybe done this before I stuck it down, but not the end of the world. We'll just measure it like that. Nothing a good scissors can't solve. Lovely. Good scissors, I tell you, is invaluable. I've had that pair for donkey's years, since before I moved from London to Lincoln, and that's over 10 years ago, and they're still going strong. A really good pair of scissors is such a good investment. If you look after them and try and degunk them and oil them, they'll last. It's really good. Right, that's what I've got so far. Isn't that cute? So let's work on the outside here. Right. So this is going to be our centre panel. So I'm going to stick this down here. And all of the Blossom Boutique Designer Series paper has gold foiling on one side of it, every single sheet. It's absolutely gorgeous. Right, I think that's good. So now I'm going to actually switch to seal because it's just going to be easier for me. And what I want to do is I want to put a very thin line of seal along one edge of my paper. Now I should say all the measurements for this card will be on the blog post, and you can find the link to that in the description box below. It wasn't my idea. I found this on another demonstrator's. She was demonstrating, and I can't remember her name. If I find it, I will link it in the blog post. She did it in inches, and I've slightly changed it to work in centimetres. To work with my style. However hard I try, I get glue everywhere. Does anyone ever have this as well? They just, however hard they try, glue goes everywhere. Right. So now what you want to do is you want to pull one of these back as far back as you want. So I want to be sort of somewhere near the centre here, and then pull this back. And a good bone folder here is very useful. So give that a good burnish, and then roughly the same place, if I use my bone folder as a ruler, I'm going to take it back again and fold it back. And give that a little burnish and just have a look at it. Does it look even? Well, pretty much. And we want to do the same here, and I'm going to just leave a little bit here. Do the same here. Now you can glue these down if you so wish. I didn't. I let them be free. Now I'm going to glue this whole panel, now that I'm happy with it, to the front of the card. And then I'm going to take that piece that we punched out, just had it sitting under the punch. I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back, so that's applying them. I have to get another sheet out, using them up. I love Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, they're my favourite. And that's not just because I'm a demonstrator, though most people will think it is. I also, like everyone else, bought cheap foam pads from here, there, and everywhere because I didn't want to spend the money. I'm a crafter. I want to save what I can. And I found the gluing things used to stick more to my fingers than to anything else. And not only did it cause me frustration, but I just ended up wasting so many because it just became unusable. So I bought the bullets and started to use Stampin' Up! Ones, and I've never looked back. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? I really love this card. Now, if you want to, you could add some embellishments to it, but I think it's just perfect the way it is. So let me know, which one do you prefer? Just with the stamping or with the heat embossing? But there you go. That's how you make this dress form or cinched curtain fun fold card, featuring the Boutique Blossoms Design Series paper from Stampin' Up! So thank you for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, I'd be grateful if you could give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, enjoy being creative. Thank you. Bye.